Reactions, record. Okay, record.
Found
It
it.
says there's a button down here, record.
Yep, go ahead.
Where does it put the file?
Uh, it might be on downloads, or it might be, you know, somewhere. I'm recording this to the cloud, so there's a Zoom cloud. It might be on download.
Okay.
Oh, hang on, I gotta turn the live just turned on, so I'm getting an echo.
Okay. Let me see. Where did it go? I downloaded a little bit.
Probably in the app Zoom. It's in preferences. It tells you where downloads go. Like it's
Okay.
gotta be. It's only places. It might be going to movies. It could, it might maybe the Zoom app made a place. Like
Video.
are you on a laptop right now?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I had to make mine go somewhere on my Zoom, but there was a default place. Like it might have been in documents in the Zoom app or something like that.
Virtual broadcast recording. I don't
It would
see.
have today's date by year, month, and day. It would say 2020 0723. That would be the name of the file.
Crap. I don't see anywhere where. Let me see. Recording. Choose a location. Okay. Okay. And documents. What the fuck? No.
Just move it out of there, or you can stop the recording and put it where you want to put it.
Right. Choose a location. All right.
You have like a bunch of external drives on that computer?
Yeah, I'm running out of space too, really badly. It's terrible because here in Argentina, it's not easy at all to get external drives. It's so expensive, like almost triple what it costs in the United States for a 1 terabyte fucking drive.
I had an interesting drive situation. This is an old Ken and Phil story, because you and I used to make a lot of music on 4-tracks. So I was working on this tune. This is an interesting song. Actually, I'll send you a rough cut of it.
Okay.
And, it's a song that I wrote about my mom and dad.
Oh.
So it's not really a song that I'm going to release to people, or it's just for friends, and it's just a personal song. And I was up to 45 tracks on Logic.
Damn.
And but I needed more, and so I was recording drums in the garage, and matter of fact, let me see. I'll just send this thing to you. Where's your text?
All right, I solved that video issue. So
did you fix your thing?
Yeah, I started.
So long story short, this thing was stuttering on 45 tracks in the. Why don't I have you on my text here? I guess I can send it to you over Messenger, right?
Yeah.
What is that like? Is it expensive for you to receive things over text? Because you're in Argentina, I'm in the United States.
Oh, you mean text message? Yeah, on my phone here, it's ridiculous. I mean, I don't even have the real service. I only have internet.
Okay.
Because who the hell is going to call me on the phone? Nobody.
Right. But some people, I guess just very few people might still have that stuck in their head that, oh, Phil's just right there.
Yeah, I mean, the thing about the service here in Argentina is that you get packages like in the cheapest or the best way to do it is actually nobody uses like a phone. Everybody uses WhatsApp because WhatsApp is free.
Right. That's so popular, right?
Yeah, it's huge here. I mean, everybody and their mother has WhatsApp. So what they do is buy like internet package, like 2 gigs for a week, and then they use that WhatsApp instead of phone calls.
I'm going to send you this file.
Are we recording right now?
Again, it's not really. What happened?
Are we recording live on YouTube?
Yeah.
Oh, we're live on YouTube right now, huh?
Yeah.
On what channel? Your channel?
Yeah, I think you can reroute it to yours if you want to. I don't know how that works.
Okay, here's the audio clip. Okay. I'll download it later. Huh?
Did the MP3 go to you or no?
Yeah.
You
Well,
got
it's
my
in,
MP3.
let me check. Let me
Oh,
make sure.
sorry. God dang, I sent it to you 3 times. Having an elderly event there. Sorry about that.
Send an audio clip. Okay.
Yeah, you don't have to listen to it now because it's really not anything I'm sharing
Okay.
publicly. But it's just, that song. It's like it has a history for you and I because you and I wrote songs for so long. And so, long story
Right.
short, I was recording drums. I have an iMac in the house, and I record most of the stuff in the house, just keyboards, vocals. I had Joey play a little guitar, and it was pre-COVID-19, and then I had to really heavily edit his stuff because his chops were a little, lacking.
Yeah.
He hears this, and and then in the garage, I began to build a little. I got all the mics out and set up a drum set that Brooks Wackerman had given to me.
Yeah.
Um, so I began to record drums, and that's when I ran into this. Oh, I'm at 45 tracks. It's starting to stutter. Well, what it was it was just the what do you call it? It was the hard drive, and I bought an AV hard drive. It was like one of those. It was right here. It's one of these. What is this? One of these douchey hard drives.
Oh, the G drive or whatever.
Right. It's like 72 RPM, whatever. It was
Hey
choking.
man, we got a new participant.
Oh, this is Raul. Raul. This is Phil. He's a very old friend of mine.
Hey, Raul.
Hey, good
Phil
meeting
is
you.
the reason I know Adam Sandler and Adam Goldberg, and this is the list is too long. It's all his.
Right
the guy
on.
in the New York Cap had. It's all his fault.
I have to blame it on me.
Sure.
Those two
Jeez.
poisonous guys.
So Phil, then I switched out the G drive and I just went internally on my SSD because I got a terabyte SSD built into my MacBook,
Right.
and the CPU thing went to nearly zero at 45 tracks. So
Well, what's the connection on that?
Go ahead.
You got Thunderbolt on that connection on that drive or what?
No, this is just going in USB 3 or something.
Oh, well, that's why.
Oh,
Yeah.
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 So
Raul agrees with me.
Yeah.
so I'm definitely if my next external is going to be an SSD.
Yeah, big time. You need an SSD drive in that thing. You don't have an SSD drive in that computer, the one you have on your desk there?
Both do. They all do. All my this is a 2015 iMac.
Oh.
And then the one in the garage is a 2013. This one has 500 megabyte SSD, and the one in the garage has 1,000. Has a terabyte.
All right.
Yeah. But the
Nice.
thing is, I don't know if you know this. You're not supposed to put information like I use Premiere to edit, and I use Logic, and you're not supposed to have your data on the same drive as the.
Right. You need an external drive.
It supposedly screws up your drive. I don't know how you can. How do you screw up an SSD?
Well, it wears out. Apparently, it has a lifespan. SSD.
That's amazing. So that's because it's just electricity. There's nothing moving in there.
I don't know the technicalities, but it definitely says they say that you should always edit off an external drive, not on the internal drive. I guess also because the computer is also running the actual computer too, and it gives the computer a hard time. Could be like heating up and stuff like that. So it helps the computer. That's what I understood anyway.
Yeah, so that's my SSD story.
Very good.
But so you and I were talking about drums, and drumming. I did a fun little thing with Kurt Biscara a week ago, where he talked about we went over his entire setup and how he records at his house. So somebody wants to do what he calls it a something project, a vanity project. Do you know about these? Okay.
Yeah.
And so when he does those, he's got this whole setup at his house. He's got mics, interface, MacBook, or maybe it's a iMac, and he went over every single thing, every mic, where the mic goes, signal flow.
Real nerd stuff.
Yeah. And but he and I talk quite often, and it's always like, well, what's going on with drumming? Like when is it going to start up again? When are people going to be able to go to a live venue? When,
Yeah.
That's good thoughts.
You
So-
play, Raul? You're a player also?
Actually, I love attending live music shows. That's my thing. I used to get photographed on special events for a
Oh.
while, but I stopped actually back in 2000. Gosh, how long ago I stopped? I think my last event I've been to is Electric Daisy Carnival in LA. And that was
Wow.
like dealing with the hundreds of thousands of people and a DJ or two
Right.
DJs or a performer. So that's what I did for photographing. But in terms of other events, I finally saw Nine Inch Nails recently, like 2 years ago for the first time. I saw The Cure the first time for last year. And I just fell in love with live music all again. And
But wait a minute, are you a photographer or a drummer?
photographer.
Oh, you're a photographer. Okay,
Yes.
okay. I
I
thought
take
you
photos.
might play drums too.
I did play drums as a kid though.
All right, cool.
Phil's
Honest.
Very good,
Phil's
very good.
located in Argentina right now.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I'm in Mendoza, Argentina, so my internet connection might not be as fast as yours, but
You're good.
it seems to be
You look good.
working
You
well
sound, you
enough.
sound
for
fine.
Zoom. Good,
Wow,
good.
that's quite a distance.
So yeah, man.
You know a lot of drummers, Phil. So what's the story?
Well, I think it depends on what country you're in and what the situation of each individual country is.
Yeah.
But I mean, in general, drumming was taking a really weird turn even before this whole thing, and I think it's either going to help it and help people appreciate it more when this whole thing is over, or it's going to completely ruin it, and we're going to become obsolete, more obsolete than we already were.
Right. I mean, I had a lot of friends who were doing, cruise ships.
But
And
I think in places like,
the legacy, what do they call it? The bands where they sound like Journey or whatever. There's like a ton of work.
cover bands or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately, that is very popular in different countries. Like Italy, if you play in a cover band, especially ones that have like imitators as the main persona, like the singer or whatever, you get a guy that looks like Bono and sounds exactly like Bono. Those guys are touring all over the freaking place in Italy. It's really sad. It's like a circus, basically,
Right.
Wow.
But people love it. So, that's the sad state of affairs, and especially in Italy, which is so disappointing, But in places like China, I think drums are exploding. The art of drumming is just completely exploding over there, and so everything depends on what country we're talking about, what region and what culture, and how far advanced they are with Western instruments and stuff like that. So,
Okay.
I'm not betting on the West at all in the future of drumming. I'm, expanding my personally into Asia and places like that, and secretly many other guys are too.
Why do you say secretly? What do they care about that?
Because honestly, in all candid honesty, I've gotten so much heat for going to play in China.
Really? Why
From
would anybody care about that? I don't. This makes no sense.
well, my internet is unstable, it says, because people are just enormously stupid, first of all. You know, they don't understand a thing about China. They talk about communism as if they knew what the hell that was in the first place, and and they talk about China as if they were all experts on China. They've never been there. They don't know the first thing about it, and they go on my Facebook page and lecture me about playing in China and supporting communist governments and stuff like that. One, it's just the most ridiculous, ignorant crap, you know, I've ever seen. So that's why I think a lot of guys are just quiet about it. They go over there, they do their thing. They're on WeChat a lot. You know, they get promoted on WeChat, which is it's a gigantic, humongous app. You know, that's not available here, or people don't know about it in the West too much. And they go in there and they make their money and they come back and they don't say.
Niggers? Yeah.
We're getting spammed.
Hey.
We're getting spammed.
Nigger, kill some niggers, bro. Hey, who trying to kill some niggers with me, bro?
What's that?
Somebody spammed us.
How
That's
is
like
that possible?
somebody saw the link and they went in there and they, you know.
Really?
That'll be good. That'll be good on the, you know. But go on. No, this is interesting. So they go there. You were saying they go there, they do the work, and that's it.
Yeah, and they probably illegally, and they keep it quiet in the West. You know, they don't say they were, or in China. There's so much maneuvering going on right now in China. Everybody's trying to get a foothold over there, and a lot of
it's new territory, so to speak.
Right. It's a huge exploding market. It's a gigantic market that you know, covertly is being slowly overrun by American, especially from the United States, players from the United States. Not all American, not South America, not Central America, but mostly players from the United States, because I think they're out of options over there. So, and another thing that's doing is killing the market also, because many guys, you got all these guys that they're not real musicians, you know, that they play in churches or YouTube guys or whatever, and they go over there and play for nothing or next to nothing, you know.
That's the amount of money you can ask for, because other people will do it for free or near.
Well,
free.
Well, no, because I mean, if you have a certain market, like I have a certain market those guys can't even touch. You know, they're not even remotely going to touch that market. But what it does do is it takes advantage of the innocence of the Chinese people, because they're very innocent at this point over there with drinking. You know, and so they don't know who exactly to believe, who to follow, who's good, who's not good, who's full of it, you know, and who has honest intentions and who just wants to use them, and you know, so it's hard for them to tell. They haven't been like a part of the Western music world, you know, which is the most corrupt, disgusting business model there is. So,
right. Now tell me, you made a great, I mean, a very you know, interesting statement where you said that it was something to the effect that, God, I lost my train of thought now. But you're talking about how these other drummers were not legitimate drummers, something like that. I have to rewind.
Well, just guys that have never done anything. You know, they're just like YouTube drummers. They're
never. But don't you think YouTube drummers have become a thing? I mean, aren't they selling drum sets? And aren't they getting
the ones that are very very popular on YouTube are, you know, they have like 1 million visualizations on each video and stuff like that, and the companies jump on them but the thing is, when have these guys ever done like a real gig with, or are they really like craftsmen, or are they just like YouTube video guys playing cover songs? You know, like, well, there's a huge difference between playing cover songs and being able to function as, I mean, you know, as a real craftsman in the music industry. and then not even to mention the art of drumming that exists in a place like India or Latin America. You know, I mean, that type of drumming is so deep that those cats, they don't even have the
Yeah.
most. They don't have an inkling of what drumming is about, and so they go and sell.
Yeah.
You know, they go and sell this stuff to China. They apply the same, you know, double pedal and the stick tricks and whatever. It's just like, and so
That should be a vocal sample. Double pedal.
yeah. It's really frustrating to see because I really care about the Chinese people. They're super nice, and they have a certain naivete about them, you know, in this situation.
Yeah.
That I don't like it when people take advantage of that. It really makes me mad.
Right. So YouTube drummers, this is an interesting conversation right here. YouTube drummers. The thing that I heard from Biscara, I could be saying it wrong, is that they don't ever play with musicians, you know, that they play to tracks. You know, but obviously there is something there that gets people interested in looking at that and listening to that. And could you parallel them in the sense that it's like a piece of music they're doing, right? It's already written out. They're not composing anything on the spot necessarily. Wouldn't that be the same as a classical musician playing Beethoven, Mozart?
I think we're giving them way too much credit to even say that. I think what's happening is the music scene is imploding because there's no outlets in general. Like when we grew up, there were so many clubs to play, and the scene was more vibrant, and there was creativity. And now there's nowhere for these guys to go play. So they've imploded into themselves, you know, and they use whatever outlet that's available, like YouTube or whatever, which is a great outlet if used correctly, you know, if taken advantage of instead of, you know, grandstanding on it, you know.
But I mean, isn't that in their world correct? I mean, if you're a dude and you're coming up and you love and understand technology,
yeah,
and you like the drums, you know, and the industry is not going to show you this drumming. So in a way, when things got really scarce and sparse and nobody could find anything decent, they just made shit up, you know, and that's what they did, and people loved it. And art doesn't art sometimes thrive under just, you know, sparse desert like?
it depends on what your definition of art is, I think, because in India you can't put anything over those drummers over there. They just look at that and they say, what a bunch of garbage. And in South America is the same. They just laugh at those guys, and they're the butts of jokes, you know. I mean,
So why is it garbage? Is it because it's not complex? Is it because it's not,
because there's
enough notes, or what is it?
There's no, yeah, but it's just like superficial drumming, you know. It's show. There's no depth. There's no craftsmanship. There's just, you know, a funneling of energy to serve this format. That
where's that perspective coming from? Is it? I mean, couldn't you say the same for pop music, like in our entire lives?
Yeah, the pop industry is completely disgusting. I mean, that's I think the pop music and everything that denigrates the profundity of art or the human condition.
Hang on, profundity. What does that mean? You got to help me.
How deep something is, though. So,
okay, profundity.
Are you learning? Maybe I'm making that word up. I don't know.
Well, we made up a new word. So you're coming from the perspective of a musician who's a practiced musician, and you personally enjoy music that's maybe more complex.
No, nothing to do with that. Let's say that if we look at you know, the current culture that we're in, the current situation in the world, especially in the United States.
Okay.
Where the most vapid, the most, let's say, you know, lack of a better term, superficial and banal things get attention, then what happens to the human mind? It starts to corrode and corrode and corrode, and until we don't have the capacity to understand what our situation in the universe is, for example,
Yeah.
and we all we're thinking about is boobs and stick twirling and like idiocracy come to life. That's basically what happens when the arts are denigrated and brought down. It brings down the entire cultures, and
what's the correlation there? Why is it when the arts become more simple? Why does that, how does that correlate to affecting a
simple
culture?
is not a good term, because
Okay.
jazz can be simple. Simple is not the correct term, but
Well, let's get it right. What's the correct term for what you're describing?
like I said, banal.
Banal. Again, I got to
Yeah.
get out my. I have to Google banal. What does banal mean now?
Superficial with no moral value or no intrinsic value to the human condition. Like, how many times can we hear a song about, I want to shake my butt and stuff like that? It's just been done over and over, and it's a formula by the music industry just to put out material to make money.
Because people react to it.
Yeah, people, young people especially, who are vulnerable and they don't have experience in what's going on in that industry. Like
What
I
about,
say,
could you parallel, since this is coffee on cameras, but it's really any subject, could you
Yeah.
parallel that to photography? Would that be the same thing as a girl on the beach, or a picture of a mountain, or that
well,
be banal?
yeah,
Or could,
I mean, parallel art forms are very important to understand the parallels and all these art forms. Obviously, I'm more experienced in music than in photography.
but I feel that transfers over. I think that,
Of course, it totally does. I mean, yeah, you take picture of a dog or take picture of a cat. How many cat pictures can you see until you start to, take a guy like any master photographer, any great photographer, just for the sake of argument, Ansel Adams, and you
Yeah.
and you put that next to a guy who's taken cat pictures or pictures of poop and think it's funny, and I mean, so where's the depth? Where's the humanity in that?
is that a
It's just
conceptual concept when we're talking? I'm sorry, we're jumping back between music and photography. Is that a conceptual thing? Do they need to have more of a conceptual thing behind them as they're doing this, or is it like, what would help music become, what would elevate it?
That's a good question. I think what elevates music is just the human being, because it's a human art form, And if we have dumb people in the world, it's hard to elevate any art form, because we need thinking people. We need people with deep emotions and deep sentiments to be able to understand or to be able to appreciate that kind of stuff.
And
The
what makes people dumb? Is it governments? Is it companies? Is it marketing? I mean, what
culture.
culture?
Yeah, cultures. I mean, governments come and go, whatever it is. Like a place like India, where, for those of you who don't know, I lived in India for a year and a half.
Okay.
And music is so deep over there. And there's such a huge appreciation for Indian classical music. And there's nothing like in the States, I mean, they have such a radically different paradigm of what music means in society and how people react to it. And it's just amazing that when you go there and you feel like renewed, like reborn, like, God, this is what music is supposed to be like in society. Their government is not the greatest. I mean,
Okay.
they have a lot of problems with the government governmental things over there. But the culture, which is thousands of years old, compared to us, we're only hundreds of years old, in the States. It's just really a life altering thing. Like when you go over there, it's just life altering the way they appreciate music. And in Cuba, it's the same thing, and in Africa, and to a large extent in South America, but not so much. The music is being so polluted here now, that it's really a shame. Except for Brazil. Brazil is kicking butt. They have incredible music, and people are so connected to the music, and it's such a big part of their culture.
Can you
So,
give us any, pointers on what types of musicians, genres to check out for Brazilian music or specific artists?
Oh, there's so many. There's so
Why
many.
are they having such a great time with music? Like, what is different about them right now than other places in the world?
Well, it's just part of their culture. It's a much more rhythmic culture. I think in general, the people are more, how do you say, warm towards each other. It's just different culture, I mean, even in Iran, let's say music from Iran, I hear that music and I see the way people interact with music in Iran, and it's like, wow, geez, man, it's so much different. It's so much a part of their culture.
Is it because of the oppression? Are you implying that, or what is so?
No, it's a thousands of years old, that
Okay.
culture. Again, it's like India and Africa. Forget it, man. That's like so such an ancient culture that has a different, and it hasn't lost kind of its place, its appreciation. Where in America, and in the United States, it's just disposable. It's almost like second to a movie or whatever. It's just we don't want to sit there and listen to a song unless it's got a video or something, So,
Because that's the culture of the U.S.
right, the culture of the U.S. There's a famous saying by Alain Delon. You know Alain Delon?
No, tell me who that is.
He's a really famous Italian actor,
Okay.
or French, actually, and he was like, the Tom Cruise, the Laurence Olivier of his time in the 70s.
Wait a second. You're putting Tom Cruise and Laurence Olivier in the same category of actor?
I'm saying just as far as star power.
Okay.
Yeah, not an acting ability, just star power.
Right.
And he said, there was a quote, he said, and this was back in the 70s, he said this. He said that, I'm not going to be sad when I die, because not everything has become so superficial and about money, and I'm translating directly from Italian.
Yeah.
But so I'm not going to be sad the day I leave this planet. That's basically what he said.
So he was
Now,
disappointed in the materialism.
Yeah, the materialism, the superficiality of everything, the lack of deep connection to things, even back in the 70s. So imagine if he were alive now, you'd just be like, what in the Christ it was, So yeah, man. I mean,
let's take a break.
It's truly, it saddens me,
I found this little thing. This is on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the medium and large format film photography group. And the first thing I saw when I saw this picture is that I can't see this leg. So I wrote, is the left leg dark on purpose? And then he wrote, no, it was light with a Fresnel lens, which gives the spotlight. I think using KinoFlow vertically to get more narrow light in the next shooting. So all that's just Greek to me. But when you look at this photograph, do you feel that, does it bother you that you can't see the left calf? Or did you not even notice that?
Well, if I would say technically, what bothers me about this photo, and about many photos like this, is what does it have to do with an office chair and a naked woman, you know, in that setting?
How would you have what prop would you have used to create this photo if you were actually pursuing this photo?
Well, you know, I think that somehow it has to make sense. You know, I mean, what is this an exposition of the human body? A muscular woman sitting in a chair, an office chair or a bar stool with high heels, which is implying a sexual. There's sexual connotations to high heels. So I just don't understand. You know,
Okay.
what's this photo about?
So conceptually, it doesn't make sense to you.
Yeah, conceptually, so many photos just aren't making sense to me. I think that people just do it to display the technical abilities of a certain equipment or whatever light they're trying to create and stuff like that. You know, I mean, where is the sense in this photo? It's a beautiful woman, obviously. Is that the sense? But in
Hey,
this
Raul,
setting,
do you have any thoughts on this?
I can see why you don't. I can see that why it bothers you. It makes perfect sense. Excuse me, sorry, lose my voice. The bright highlight on the forehead really bothers me. Light quality is a hit and miss. The
What would you say
pose
about the light quality? What would you say about that?
seems a little, in my opinion, seems a little too flat for me. It's just too harsh.
Okay.
This is just my opinion now. I get it as a spotlight. I totally get it. But yeah, I'm trying to figure out for the cropping. That's why I keep looking at the screen, trying to figure out what's the best crop. I think it's the wrong type of chair to use, probably, in my opinion.
So the chair is problematic.
Because my eye keeps going towards the highlight of the chair, which is the bottom of the chair. And my eye keeps drawing to that in the dark areas than the light area. That makes any sense.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. He needs some kind of kicker to fill the deep shadows, in my opinion.
Yeah. How many lights are we looking at here? Three lights?
If I had to guess by looking at it, looks like 2.
What's hitting that backdrop?
I'm sorry.
Isn't there another light hitting the backdrop, or is it the same light that she's facing?
If I had to guess, it looks like the same light for the backdrop.
Okay. So they use that one light for both the smear on the backdrop and for her face and her front.
In the back too, because I see only 2 lights. The reason I see 2 lights, because if you look at the bottom of the chair, I see 2 highlight spots.
Okay, so you're looking at the specular highlights.
Yep. That's my eye keeps going to those little specular highlights.
So maybe they kind of use some kind of what do they call it? The gobos to make that light sort of look like a streak on this backdrop here.
Or a strip box.
A strip box. Okay. Cool.
Raul, what about outside those technical things? What I noticed somebody says, like Steve Abbott down there, says it would be stronger without the shoes. Now, what about this aesthetically, this setting? What about it? What does it say to you? What does it mean?
What does it mean to me to see this portrait?
Yeah, what this setting, what does it project to you? I mean, I see this set. Well, you tell me first, and I'll tell you what I think.
Sorry about that.
No problem.
Gosh, that's a tough call. It's like a weird way of showing fitness.
Right.
In a weird context. I don't know how to describe it.
A weird way of showing fitness. I like that.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
I really don't understand the chair being there. I really don't. I agree with you with that, by the way. I do. you want to show fitness is a lot, in my opinion, stronger ways to show good poses than leaning on a chair. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
It feels very
Yeah.
lackluster. I don't understand. I don't know. I think somebody is just exploring the ways of expression of
It could have been
fitness.
an exploration, that's for sure.
I think so too.
Yeah,
I definitely think it's
that's what it
exploration.
feels like. Right. An exploration more of camera technique and things like that than an actual piece of art. It feels like somebody's like just an experiment, posing.
On the
and
way
experiment.
towards a finer art, you have to
Right.
make some art, and then maybe he didn't want us to comment on it. I don't know. I'm melding
Well,
the
maybe not, but
worlds of Facebook and Zoom or the 3 worlds and YouTube here, but I thought it'd be interesting to look at that and think. I wanted to see what you guys thought of it.
The light quality is almost on point, in my opinion. If the photographer didn't use another light source, he or she should have done a reflector card to fill the back instead of.
Bounce some light on the bottom there.
You think it's a bounce? It looks like another light source to me, in my opinion. I
Yeah,
don't know,
yeah.
but I'm only saying that because light doesn't work like that for photography. You got to make it look natural.
Which normally a bounce would do the better job, right?
It may have, it may not have.
Right.
It depends on the shape of the bounce card or reflector.
And position and
Hmm.
proximity, everything.
I think if it was more dramatic, I think it would have been more, in my opinion, a powerful shot. That's just me.
you guys think that if the story or the concept of this photo was stronger, or let's say something more emotional or something that reached you more, would you be looking at all those things?
Yeah, sure. Photography, the structure of the thing, the basic photographic things, they still are necessary, in a thing. Like, I mean, there are times when you could bypass photographic concepts, I guess, but some things could be just very glaring. Like,
Yeah.
having that left calf so dark, that's just, to me, somebody who is in a rush.
Can be.
I may have to agree.
Yeah, but if
Or they're
if
not
it
in the
was
know. They're not in the know that you need to illuminate the whole thing. I mean, or make it all black on one side if you're going to do that, which I don't really care for. But that's exactly the way I used to shoot pictures. I would shoot pictures and I'd show it to this guy here, RJ, and he'd say, he's the most polite, sweetest guy in the world. He'd say, "Ooh, that's so dramatic." And what he's really saying is, like, you need to take a few more classes. That's the way he'd say it to me. "Oh, God, I love the part that I can see."
right?
Wait, what?
Oh, you were very kind to me, Raul. I mean, and this dude, I took a class once with him where we had to light a white object, like say this thing here, on a white backdrop. Was it with one light, Raul?
Yes, so it's one light, one white cup, one white plate, and white sugar cubes, I think. What was it?
Well, you did
White
like
backdrop.
a air freshener. You took like a white Glade air freshener, some kind of a,
Yes.
and
Forgot about
he
that.
put it on a white backdrop, and with one fucking light, you could see every part of that thing. Like, it was a masterpiece.
I would love to see that.
You
I
have
actually
it?
don't have it. I don't have it on
Oh.
hand right now because I'm using my phone.
Okay.
If you
I need to
can,
locate
let me
it.
know where I can see that.
And like mine just looked like a piece of shit, Phil. It was like, I can't remember what I lit,
Gosh, I
put
forgot
something
about
white.
a dig Glade.
Because I just didn't know how to light a thing. I mean, this guy is, most of these people that I hang around with, these people are just masters at lighting a thing.
I'm not a master.
Well,
Oh, well, come on.
Thank you, though.
You're
But
pretty good, though.
I'm not a master lighter. I'm not.
I showed up at that school and I was like, what the fuck am I doing here? Like, I literally wanted to run out of there a few times, especially with him. He'd be in one of my classes, and we'd all share our stuff on a Friday, and I'd see his thing, and I was just like, I mean, literally, I felt like I was going to throw up. It was like, what?
I'm not
Jeez.
showing mine.
Like if I had to go play jazz next to
Thank you,
this guy in the New York Yankees hat, you know, what am I doing? Like, why even do this? Why even pursue this? That's the way I felt.
Well-
Why even pursue this?
Why?
Doing great, Ken. You're doing great.
Why would you feel
Honest.
that way?
I'm
I
sorry.
could tell that they were just like light years ahead of me. You know, it's like when you meet somebody who's been playing drums since they were 5, which I didn't. You know, you can't catch up on that.
Well, I don't know. I don't know. I think you maybe the way to catch up is to find is through the discovery of your own voice, you know.
Well, I got that. I mean, everybody knows what I do, you know, but and I'm not sad about it. I enjoy this pursuit. I love the beginner's mind. And in photography, I've got that in spades. But I'm just saying that, you know, yeah, I mean, you know, you saw, I mean, Raul was being kind when he was looking at that photograph. I mean,
Well,
Thanks, Ken.
the beginner's mind is, I think, is an absolute in every art form, because nobody is the master of like drumming. There cannot be a master in general of drumming, and like Bruce Lee said, that you're only a master when you die, then you're the master.
that's the truth. I agree with that.
Photography is super deep, man. All these things, you know, are things that take a lifetime of work, like any art form. If you have any kind of a belief that, you know, that you're not good enough, or if things are too hard, then it poisons your soul, you know. And it's just a matter of finding the right people, putting the right people around you, like you did with Raul. I mean, it's a blessing, you know.
Yeah. No, they're great. I mean, these guys are so talented, and they've helped me, you know. I try to surround myself with people that are better than me at a thing. Definitely.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I got to take some lessons from him.
Yep. Roles available. Hit them up, people.
I
Thank you.
still would
Check
love
out-
to see that
Check out
photo.
Raul's, you know, feed. I mean, and if you can find that photo, no rush, but you know, it'd be wonderful to share that at some point. That was a great prompt.
So
I really don't remember where that photo is at. I really don't. I had to think of it. But I
that
could definitely
Instagram?
look. I'm sorry?
Instagram,
No.
what
on there.
feed do you have?
I do have an Instagram page, but I haven't really posted anything on there in forever.
Uh.
If you want to follow me, you can. It's Euphoria Imaging.
Okay,
Just-
if I want to follow you, I'd go to this Euphoria Imaging.
Mm-hmm. This should say RJ on there.
Okay, I'll check that out.
Sorry, just thinking. Oh my goodness. In case you wondered, Ken, that photo of that product, it was taken with the Hasselblad the H4,
Oh,
the school's camera.
which photo is that we're talking about?
The Glade,
Oh, you did it with that Hasselblad?
yes, the school's Hasselblad.
Oh, I use that camera. Why didn't my picture come out that way, bro?
That camera is a pain, man. Really is.
It was not very intuitive, was it?
It was very, very finicky, in my opinion.
I heard as well that it mattered on how you brought that into the digital
Oops.
thing. Is that true that it didn't look good through Lightroom, but you had to use something like some other capture device to make it?
What was that? Capture One?
Wasn't that the
Wasn't
one? Somebody was saying something about that which I found that mind blowing. That I thought digital was digital, but apparently
No. What was it? It was gosh, was it phase one? I don't remember. No,
think
it was the other one.
It was either Capture One or it was some it was something I was not familiar with, but I was surprised to learn that that mattered in that process.
Gosh, what was it? I think it was by Hasselblad. That's the
Oh,
I
they have a
think.
proprietary.
software.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
I definitely saw a huge shift in colors and information
Because I shot a fellow student at Cypress College
photographed, but yes.
with that Hossie, and I brought it in through Lightroom, and it was like, it just looks like my friggin' Nikon. Why does this thing cost $40,000? You know, it was probably the way I brought it in, you know, and of course the photographer Phil.
No, but I did hear that there's definitely some changes of those cameras when you bring them into different programs, the way they interpret the
That's
files.
interesting. You would
Yeah.
think digital is digital.
Yeah, probably not. Probably.
Hang on a second. I think I have a FedEx here. I'll be right back.
You have a FedEx, you better disinfect that package. Hey, Raul. Are you there?
Yes.
What's
Yeah.
the- Cool. What's the main thing that you're shooting right now, working on? Do you have a project at the moment?
I've been photographing designer toys for a while.
Mhm.
The beginning of this year, I met a lot of toy artists back in November, and I was hoping to network more of them this year. I met them
Wow.
through a convention called Designer Con.
Oh, yeah.
And what it is just pretty much artists from all over the place, from the Philippines to Singapore to Thailand, from local Europe, you name it. I was hoping to network more artists and photograph their high designer toys, you know. And I was doing
Right.
that for a little bit, and unfortunately, things took place, and that slowed me down to the point of I don't want to photograph anything anymore. I mean, I'm gonna lie to you, I lost interest taking photos. I just got overwhelmed with what's going on. And so I picked up a new hobby,
Wow.
gardening. I started planting my own vegetables and
Gardening.
fruits. Mm-hmm. And that sounds crazy.
That's pretty cool. That's
So
great,
I've
though.
been, I've been growing my own food for my mom and I, and family and friends. But my last major project I did was
I
was
thought
my-
that was.
I'm sorry?
No, go ahead.
Oh, okay. The last major project I did was my girlfriend's her girlfriend's wedding. And that's my
Oh,
last
cool.
thing I did, and I haven't really done anything else after that. I've just been going through old photos, and I may edit them, and I may post it, I may not post it, but lately I have not been posting anything too. It's just been in a very deep funk.
Creative funk, huh? That happens.
Yeah.
My friend Phil here plays funk.
Wow.
He's the funkiest
But
drummer you've ever heard.
it's just really hard. I mean, I don't know how to describe it. It's very describable.
Believe me, I think me and Ken know exactly what you're talking about, because that's a very common thing, and for artists to go through those different types of phases.
Yeah.
So you're not alone in that, man, at all. You know.
Thanks.
Yeah.
But it's just, yeah, it's weird. I should confirm that you're following, huh? Hang on.
Man, my internet is so lame here.
You sound real good on this end. You can't hear us?
Really? No, I keep, it gets jagged and it cuts out on my end. Yeah. So
It's this is a good conversation here.
yeah, I hope that I can put it on my photography channel, if you don't mind.
I don't care. Do whatever you want.
I don't know how I'm gonna get this file, but well, whatever.
Well, I have the whole thing being recorded to the cloud. So if you're having a problem recording it, I can send you all the raw. They're not raw, but there's going to be two different files. One will be the gallery view, and the second
Ah,
file will be when somebody's speaking view. You know, the speaker
right.
view, that, and then you can, you know, you ever sync that up? And what do you use? Final Cut.
Yes.
So in Premiere, you know, you can take those two files, and through the audio, it'll sync up the two files. You know,
I see. Ah.
I don't know how you guys do that in Final Cut, but and then so then
Yeah, you can do that then Final Cut also. Yeah.
yeah, so and I you know go through there and I'll cut little parts out that might be interesting and take out the parts that are kind of lagging, and you know they say that like 15-minute clips are good for some reason. They say that's an important thing on YouTube. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of, huh?
I think that if you're a nerd, you know, like I'm a darkroom nerd. You know, I made this picture. This is an interesting picture. This is I shot this with a 4x5 camera at Cypress College. And this is a test strip, so there's little, you can't really tell, but there's little light, dark, dark, dark. We try to
Ah,
find,
okay.
we're trying to find, you know, that's the first time I tested it. That's too light. That's a little better. That's a little better. It wasn't really close.
Right.
We do different timings, and I got this, that, you know. But if you're into this kind of nerdy stuff, you'll seek it out.
Yeah.
So like I could go, I could find this, you know, type of information on printing a thing. This is on archival paper, which means it takes way longer to do and takes longer to dry and blah, blah, blah.
Right.
So no matter what you do, if you have stuff that's compelling, like you're a jazz drummer, like you're a great, you know, legendary jazz drummer, people that want to play jazz and have any level of understanding of it like you, or get any articulation like you do, they're going to seek you out. I mean, all 9 of them, all 9 or 19 or whatever it is, or 1,900, you know, but it's that's one thing the algorithm can't hold down. But you know, it's tough to get through that algorithm on YouTube.
Yeah,
on
it is.
You know, like you could post a thing on your Facebook or your YouTube, you'd be surprised that it's not really getting out there. If you give them like $10, it goes farther.
Right. I'm not going to do that ever.
So capitalism is following you around, Phil.
Oh yeah, big time.
You know, the free internet is not so free.
So far, I haven't needed to pay these people. I did pay a couple of times earlier on, a few years back, and all it did was make some people like in Pakistan watch my videos who had nothing to do.
It shoves it out there further, but it doesn't mean they're gonna, you know, yeah.
It's a ripoff. It's a total ripoff to pay. You know, it's a ripoff.
I think they just know that it has become, you know, social media has become this budget, and so they're just trying to tap into that budget. If you're a TV show, or if you're a celebrity, or you're whatever, an internet celebrity, then you pay a certain amount, and they give you a little boost.
Yeah.
Like a mob thing, right? You need a little boost, right?
Yeah, I think all the companies should be broken up. Facebook, YouTube, they should all be broken up into smaller companies because it's completely out of control what they're doing.
My son is on another thing. I can't remember what it's called.
TikTok?
No, it's not that. It's another one. They probably named it a thing that a 56-year-old could not memorize. And,
Don't ask me.
and they have these servers, and it's interesting because it's a social media platform that is not based around the individual. It's based around the content. So if you were on this thing, a lot of gamers use it. You sure you don't know what it is, Roll? Is a lot of the gamers use it. I'm pretty sure Frank and all those guys are on this. And they can
probably.
They can all chat with each other visually or audio or just words. And each, like if you created one, you know, if I created one, I'd have a skateboarding feed, and I'd have a photography feed, and I'd have a, you know, film photography feed. And then people go on there and they talk. They don't even care about you. They just care about the subject.
Right.
for the life of me, I can't remember what it's called. So my son is on that all day long with all of his friends from school because he's been disenfranchised from them. And when I heard about this thing and I saw the way it works, I thought, wow, that's an interesting approach because so far it's not about the individuals, opposite of Instagram.
That sounds like communism, man. That's a communism.
Well, maybe the federal government will send some virtual vans to, round those people up until they ask for a lawyer, But yeah, so it seems like your whole YouTube deal, Facebook, all that stuff. It's give me a little money and I'll put you further down the feed.
Yeah, forget it.
I know.
Yeah. What time is it there in LA?
It's 10:39. How about Argentina? What is it? Late?
God. It's 2:39 in the afternoon. That's why I'm so hungry. Jeez, I haven't.
Go eat.
Yeah, I didn't realize. Oh my God, I feel it's 2:30.
Busy?
Oh my God. Yeah, I was feeling like tired. All of a sudden, I looked at the watch and
You're like, the doctor didn't tell me I was diabetic. He said I was just borderline, and then suddenly,
right.
the world's spinning.
Hey man, thank God right now we have health. At least, we're not sick with this virus thing.
Yeah.
Had a few friends come down with it and they recovered, fortunately, but there's been many, older cats in the jazz community that have died, and it's really a bummer, man. It's just...
Yeah. And people are dying of natural causes as well. Life goes on, and
yeah,
it's definitely this whole thing is it's been a big inconvenience, COVID-19, but it's also been kind of a revealing thing too.
Oh, big time. Yep. Yeah.
What are you going to do? Are you going to make something to eat, or are you going to go buy something to eat? What's the
today it's not my day. Here in Argentina, they have alternate days that you can go out depending on your document,
Oh.
So, yeah. So my document ends in the number 1. So my days are Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So today I'm not allowed to go into restaurants and stuff like that. So
that keeps the amount of people in a restaurant lower.
Right. It half the population goes on one day and the other half on the other day. And Mendoza here has been really strict quarantine, which is great. And we were down to 0 cases for weeks. And then we had some truck driver from Chile who was sick. Chile is a disaster compared to Argentina. But this truck driver came over and he was sick and he didn't know. And he went to an illegal party that was done in this district around here with hundreds of people. And he got like 14 people sick in one night. And then all of a sudden we're up to 60 people in a couple of days sick, so it's such a bummer that
it's catchy, right? I mean, it's
super contagious.
Yeah.
And so it's a bummer, man. I thought it would be over in Mendoza. As a matter of fact, it was over. We didn't have this number thing anymore. And then because of these idiots, we got pushed back to this phase 2, I guess, or whatever it is.
Okay. But still, that's pretty good. I mean, I think out here, you said 60 got it. I mean, out here, I think we had 1,000 die, about 1,000 die every night, don't we? In the U.S.,
yeah.
I'm not sure the numbers.
The USA is totally out of control, completely out of control. I mean, look at the numbers there and look at the numbers here. Here, if you don't wear a mask, you get a heavy fine or they take you to jail and stuff like that. So the obvious thing is that if you more cautious and take care, it's not going to spread as much. Right. Over there, people are politicizing wearing a mask. It's the most ridiculous, insane thing I've ever seen.
It's not just that. It's also that people here, I know I can only speak to the skateboarding culture. Like I've been going to some skate parks Reese, and what I have to, the way I have to do this, I have to get up like at 6 in the morning, and my kids wanted to ride, so I take them there when there's nobody there.
Right.
And even then, you have to be careful because you're touching surfaces, and so
Sure.
cure all your hands after, and blah blah blah. And
Yeah.
then if like one kid comes to skate, we put masks on.
Right.
We're in a skate park outdoors, so it's pretty, it's less transmission outdoors than indoors. And
Yeah.
but we've been to, let's see, Duarte, maybe 4 skate parks in the last 3 days, and not a single skater nor parent is wearing a mask out here. And they're not all conservatives.
Right.
Some of them can be very liberal. Some of them come from, different political backgrounds, religious and sexual.
Really weird.
So they just don't, out here, I think a lot of people, either they're sick of that, they can't keep doing it, or they never did it at all. I think most of the people that I know, they never really, and even old guys, they just decided, well, I'm just going to go skate. And so far, none of them have died, knock on wood.
Yeah.
I don't know. And I'm
I
not
was
like
watching it.
preaching,
Huh?
I'm just curious about like what are the effects of outdoor activity and this disease.
I'm no scientist, so I have no idea how to answer that. But I did see a video about this guy in China. He's a U.S. guy that lives in China, and he speaks Chinese perfectly and English perfectly. And he made a video about the different cultures about Chinese people are looking at the United States, not understanding at all why they just can't put a mask on. There's what the hell is the problem? Nobody can understand over there what the gigantic ordeal is with putting on a mask. And it's a cultural thing. They've used masks over there for so many different things that they're used to it. They used to have really heavy pollution, and they wore masks all the time. And they how it is, Ken, in Asia, it's more of a courtesy thing. If you have a cold, you wear a mask so you don't get other people sick.
Yeah.
It's a respect issue. And
But that's cultural, that's where ideology comes from, right?
Yeah.
So that's a tough thing you can't change that overnight. That's everybody is what they are. So, you pray for the best and you prepare for the worst.
It's unfortunate, really, because people harp on the situation with the economy and blah blah blah, but yet they refuse to take the steps necessary to help the situation and help open things again as soon as possible. I just don't. It's just a torrential flood of illogic, to quote Dr. McCoy from Star Trek. No, Spock. I'm quoting Spock when he was talking to Dr.
Torrential
McCoy.
flood of illogic.
Yeah.
I love that. This
Yeah.
is a nerdy fucking conversation.
Totally.
Becoming so nerdy, it's not even. I love that. A torrential flood of.
Yeah.
I like that.
It was at that episode where the M5 computer, and they imprinted the engrams of the doctor who created it into the computer. And Spock said at the end of the episode, he says, "I'm sure if they imprinted your engrams, Doctor, on this computer, the torrential flood of illogic caused by the computer was so funny."
What a great show.
Yeah.
Original Star Trek. That's where we're
Yeah.
at now.
Yeah.
That's how far Phil and I go back. Original Star Trek.
Oh my God. Craziness.
So you have to make food? Is that what you do?
Yeah, I have to get something to eat because I'm about to pass out, I think.
Okay.
I've been on a very strict diet, one meal a day.
Why is that?
Because I'm gaining weight, and plus it helps me. It just helps me in general.
Your vanity? It's your vanity?
No, I was actually gaining too much weight.
You were really? Normally you're not. I've never in my life seen you heavy.
Oh my God, dude! In Italy, when I was writing the book in Inner Clock 2, I was 8 months in that house on the beach. I gained so much weight because I wasn't doing anything. I was on the computer like 10 hours a day for months and months. And I
You
went
have
to
like
the
a big
beach.
fat man head. You're like,
No, my stomach was the problem and
Oh,
my
was it?
cheeks. A friend of mine took a photo of me at the beach in my shorts, and I saw the photo and I go, "Oh my God, who is that guy?" I
we
cannot
want to see
believe-"
that photo, and we want to see Raul's photo of the white glaze.
Yeah, Raul, you're holding out on us, man.
I don't know where it's at. Seriously.
Yeah, see,
Either does
that's
Phil.
an old trick.
I don't
That's
know
an
where
old
it's
trick.
at.
That's an old trick for guys that don't want to show you their secrets. See,
No, I'll be honest. I already know where their photo's at.
You know, Raul's so good that he could show you a secret, and you still be like, I can't do this. Where did he?
right?
Where does he begin?
Oh my goodness.
I think we should all talk like 50s mobsters, and after every sentence, add "see."
Wait.
You've always been that way, Phil. See?
Yeah, I know. See.
It's too funny.
I
Come on,
saw.
Raul.
Oh, this is Raul. Phil is how I met Adam Goldberg, who's a photographer,
Okay.
and I saw somewhere on the internet, the film that you did with Adam, Scotch and Milk. Well, you got to go eat, so
Yeah, I'm
go eat.
passing out.
But I'm glad you joined us, and that was a really good conversation. I'm gonna get a lot of hate mail for that one. It's good.
Why?
Jeez.
Why hate
Put down internet drummers, put down people who do legacy bands. I love it. We got to do more drum talk. I've been trying to get a drum talk thing going, because I'm concerned about my fellow drummers. Like, what are drummers going to do? What are some strategies? And I've been playing drums more lately. Check out that clip I sent you.
Okay.
It's not good. It's jazz rock, but it's totally like Where Is Love?
Okay.
So it's just highly personal. I sent it to you, Brooks Wackerman, John Stamos, just a few people got it.
Good.
That's a rough too. I need to get a bass on there and some other parts.
Okay. Cool.
But it's the first song I've written in 20 years. It's the first song I've written and recorded in 20 years.
Oh my God.
And
Dude.
played
Wow.
drums on because I quit. Because when my dad died, I tripped out and that whole thing. So, yeah, that's what you hold in your hands. That little MP3, which I gave you 3 of with my elderly mishap. Yeah, so check it out.
Well, I'll tell you what, man. I'm looking forward to trying. If I get back to LA, I want to try some of Raul's custom vegetables as well.
Well, come back to these photo chats. You can meet all my photo friends. These guys are all exceedingly more talented and insightful than I. And
Me too, I bet.
there's
I'm
this
still
other guy,
learning.
Frank, that you should see Frank's work too. My God, just beautiful. Like, what is he doing? How does he do that?
Well, let me know when the next time you're going to do
Okay.
one. And I would love to include it on my channel for the.
Yeah. Anything you want to do. People are using. Somebody else is using some of these for their YouTube channel as well, and it's an open thing. Like, yeah, spread the love.
Right on, brother.
Hope you get something good to eat or make something good to eat.
Yeah, me too.
Please eat.
Hope you guys in
Ew.
Argentina get that 60 COVID case thing down to 10
Or nothing. It'd be
or
great.
nothing.
Actually, in Mendoza, it's safe. Buenos Aires is a mess, complete
Oh.
disaster. The capital,
Okay.
where people are more modern, like in the United States. I'm not going to wear masks. And they're all saying that, and they're all sick, all dying.
Wow.
Yeah,
It's a worldwide crisis.
yeah, it's so ridiculous. The mentality of some of these, Anyway, I gotta eat because I'm passing out.
All right.
All right.
Turn the camera off
meeting.
before you get embarrassed.
What's that?
Turn the camera off before you embarrass yourself and pass out on this Zoom, on this nerd Zoom.
Right. Okay, guys. Peace
Take it
out.
easy.
See ya, Phil.
Good to
Peace.
meet you, Raul.
Likewise. Good meeting you too.
Peace. Ciao.
Bye.
Peace out.
Let's see.
Cool guy.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Phil.
'Cause he's
There he goes. He's gone now.
Oh my goodness. Thanks for the kind words.
Oh, it's true. I meant every word of it.
I'm just speechless. Jeez.
Well, are you? Did you eat? Have you eaten anything yet? I'm gonna go eat myself.
Yeah, go eat. I don't want to hold you up, tie you over. I don't need to be
Haven't,
passing out either.
Did you already eat? What did you? If you have, what did you eat?
I just had peanut butter and toast.
Peanut butter toast. That's a good one. A little protein action.
Yeah, I need the protein.
All right. Well, I'll see you at
All
the
right.
next one.
Sounds good. Thanks for the invitation.
Okay. See you,
All right.
Roll. Bye.